Good morning, everybody. Welcome to day 11. I thought it would be fun to just take you with me through the day. I literally just woke up. It's early here. Usually, right when I wake up, I go into the 2-hour meditation. But today, I thought it would be nice to kind of switch it up and go to yoga first. So that's what we are about to do. I'm debating if I want to eat before yoga or not. It's going to be more of a challenging class. It's like a vinyasa flow. If it were more of a gentle yoga or something, I definitely just wouldn't even consider it. But I might want a little something before because I know it's going to be really like I'm going to be exerting a lot of energy. So I think I'll just take a little snack, maybe some cashews, and maybe I'll take an apple with me too or something. Oh, I just woke up, can barely even talk, but yeah, so I need to get moving here, but I will see you at yoga. I just brushed my teeth, and now I am headed out the door. I don't think I'm gonna eat anything. I really enjoy fasting in the morning, so I think I'll just eat a pretty big meal after yoga. I'm gonna go try this new place when yoga's done, and I'll take you guys there with me. So we are about to hop in the car and head to the town that yoga's in. The only drawback to going to yoga is now that I'm in this new place that I absolutely love, the studio's about an hour away. So what I do is I plan like a whole day around it. Like I said, I'm gonna go there, I'm gonna try this health food store where they're supposed to have really good produce that's nearby, and just a lot of other little errands possibly. But the great thing is this yoga studio, they're opening a new location here very shortly that's only a half hour away. And that'll be awesome because then I'll be able to go way more often. Because right now, with it being an hour away, it's really only a twice a week thing. Where when I was living out of my car there for 4 or 5 days, I was going every day, sometimes twice a day. It was truly getting me through. It was keeping me afloat, psychologically, emotionally, physically. And living out of my car for those days was such a gift because if I wasn't living out of my car, I wasn't suddenly uprooted from where I was living, I would have never connected with this yoga studio and their amazing instructors. So that was really cool. And then I ended up falling right into like a better place to live, a place that's even more ideal for me. So it all worked out perfectly. Super grateful for that. But yeah, just hydrating up, driving to the studio. Definitely gonna fast, gonna try. Should be an interesting experience. Lots of energy moving during these classes. They're amazing. So I'll see you at the studio. So I just got to the yoga studio. I actually did end up eating some cashews. My body was like, 1 hour vinyasa flow. Please give me some fuel for that. So I still ended up fasting like 14 hours. It's not something I keep track of anymore. It's just kind of, my body is now in that flow of intermittent fasting. Typically anywhere from 14 to 18 hours is normal for me, if you guys were interested. Sometimes though, if I just want to keep eating, I'll maybe just 12, or if my body's like, please, no more food for a while, I'll go 20 hours or longer. So yeah, had some food. Now it's like that little bit of that nervous excitement before class. Definitely excited because so many good things happen, but a little bit of that nervousness because, I'm definitely gonna have to feel through a lot, and I'm feeling through a lot in the presence of others in real life. So that comes with its own, I know we're all so sensitive. So it can be a really powerful and intense experience. I actually went years, a couple years or more, about 3 years after Kundalini awakened without attending an in-person yoga class. For that exact reason, I just felt so sensitive, like it would just be an over-amplified experience for me. It may be a bit overwhelming for me. And it's only recently that I've really started stabilizing more in this energy, that the Kundalini has been integrated more, that I feel like it's there's enough of a groundedness to be able to go to these classes in person, and to be able to handle the intensity of them and everything they bring up, and how they, and just like feeling the Kundalini moving in the presence of others. It's a really fascinating experience. But it's one that's now, it's more exciting, it's more fun, it's more like an adventure. Whereas I think a year ago, or definitely 2 or 3 years ago, it would have just been terrifying. It would have been way too much. I would have been just scared of it, the whole experience. Oh no, what if I, have a Kriya or something like that would have really been running through my mind. Whereas now I'm just kind of more okay with whatever happens in life, and yeah, I just, there's a lot less fear there. So yeah, I'm about to head in. I'll see you all after yoga. I really wanted to capture this moment after yoga. I just tried to shoot a video, but I couldn't even speak, because yoga just brings so much flooding to the surface, and there's this mixture of all the heaviness it brought up, because the asanas we do, it goes into wherever there's any rigidness, any stuckness in the body. Like so many of the asanas, I just felt like shaking and quivering, and just a tightness and a rigidness in my body, which just was really illuminating to me how much stuck energy there is in these places. So it's bringing up all this heaviness, like feelings of unworthiness, not good enough, deep lack, deep scarcity, deep, just I'm not enoughness, like was coming up in class. But simultaneously, also as the energy starts flowing, there becomes this feeling of just this melted bliss, deep, profound relaxation. So it's like it's a very dynamic movement. A lot of times when I go to yoga, of bringing up really difficult stuff that I've always kind of known is there, but in a very physical way, it just digs deep into these places and really brings it to the surface. Sometimes I almost want to cry during yoga. Other times I'll feel like anger. Sometimes I'll just feel like this feeling of dread, of just like, I'm worthless, And it's not so much about believing all of that, but just letting myself feel those heavier things that can come up during yoga. It's such a powerful container, these in-person yoga sessions for me, especially since Kundalini has awakened. Just going there and it's just like really opening yourself. And also a lot of fear. I've noticed so much fear came up today. Just about past traumas were starting to surface. Fear in certain parts of my body, especially my neck. As a lot of you know, that's an area where I hold a lot of tension and trauma. But then after class, telling my yoga instructor, I don't even know how I'm going to drive home because I just feel like such goo after, you're just like, and all you want to do is just kind of sit here. And I'm just sitting in the parking lot. I've been sitting for a while now, really trying to prepare myself to try to speak, because there's so much integration that's happening, and my body has this spacious quality. It's like you're more connected to your spacious nature, while also a lot of the heaviness that was stuck in certain areas of your body that you just sometimes can't get to in meditation. That those heavier parts, those heavier energies are also coming up within the space. So there's this melted, spacious, just feeling, with a lot of heaviness coming up. And that's where I'm at right now, and it's a very beautiful and healing movement, yoga. I mean, who knew? And it's something I really, since Kundalini awakened, I haven't done as much of. just because it does move Kundalini a lot. It can become this big experience for me energetically. But right now it's really feeling like the missing link in my healing journey. Not only the movements, the asanas, and what that does for me energetically, emotionally, spiritually, mentally, but also just connecting with people is really like relational. I found connecting with people is like an acceleration on our spiritual healing journey, because you can only be as spiritual as you are grounded. And relational healing is such an important component that a lot of people try to maybe bypass or forget about. I tried to do the same thing for a couple years until life put me in such circumstances that I had no choice but to start connecting with other people and to start doing some real deep relational healing. And I found that relational healing, while it's often the thing sometimes we all want to avoid the most, it's like the thing that helps us heal the most in the most profound and dramatic ways. And the healing can happen really quick once we really plug into some relational healing. And for me, that was finding teachers initially. It was going to online retreats. And now it's shifted into this yoga studio, in-person yoga. Just being around other humans, especially with the intention of healing, the intention of connecting deeper inwards. It's really reprogramming and rewiring the nervous system. All those parts of us that were traumatized by other humans. Like the reason relational healing is so impactful and can yield such big growth and such big results so quickly on our healing journey is because most of our trauma comes from other humans in this life and past lives. So you're like really re-educating those parts of you who have been traumatized by other humans. When you do relational healing, you're re-educating those parts of you to recognize, okay, yes, here's some humans I can trust. Here's someone that loves me. Here's someone that cares about me. Here's someone that is nourishing to be around, is helping me remember that how worthy I am, how lovable I am, how okay I am, how it's okay to be exactly who I am. And a lot of us, we didn't get that in growing up in the school system, how it's set up, in the corporate world, how that's constructed. I think you guys can point to a lot of your experiences in your lifetime where, you weren't getting what you needed in relationship with other human beings, through no fault of your own. But as our awareness starts expanding, we get to, in a sense, take ownership of our path more, and we get to start choosing how we interact with the world, and we can put ourselves more and more in places where it's going to be a healing experience with other people, rather than one that's maybe going to be degrading or hurtful, or maybe cause us to feel ashamed about ourselves. It's like the more awareness we have, the more we start choosing relationships that honor us, that bring forward more of our true nature, that are just these places where we, like these safer containers, where we feel held and where we feel loved. And that is such a powerful turning point on the healing journey, when you really do shift and make relational healing a priority and make it a real, centerpiece of your healing journey. So, yeah, just wanted a little update, give you a little video update after yoga. This video went kind of long, as I tend to do, but I'm going to head to this new health food store and check out their produce. I'll take you guys with me. Okay, so I found the place I was looking for. Very windy out. The goal is hummus and some good produce. My hair is crazy. Yeah, I wish I could turn the camera around, but I'm unable to do that. Something that wasn't on the list that I think we're gonna have to go with. I don't know what you guys think of honey. I love honey. Yeah, so we're gonna get ourselves some honey. It looks like some good local honey. They've got some really good produce, it looks like, too.
I'll give you the number here in a second, and if you call, you can get.
I hope that you guys can see that okay. Like I said, I wish this had a way I could just flip the camera around. I literally just found my favorite thing. Organic, unsweetened mango. This made the whole trip here worth it. That was an amazing store. Really glad I went there. Definitely gonna go back. I think it'll be a staple. Like every time I make the trip to yoga, stopping at that store is gonna have to be a part of it. Got a lot of good stuff. The highlights being organic, local honey, and organic mangoes. I don't think you can do any better than that. So I just had to hop on and tell you guys that this is some of the best organic mango I've ever had. I don't think I've had this good of mango since I was in Berlin. I mean, very, very happy. So often dried mango, it's just like rough, you know, it's too chewy. I'll still eat it because I just love it so much. But rarely do you have mango that's just like dried mango that's like soft, not so chewy. It's so good. So yeah, the best dried mango I've had prior to this was in Berlin. When I was in Cancun, however, in Puerto Morales, a small fishing village next to it, the fresh mango there was amazing. And you could just be walking on the street and just pretty much buy it anywhere. So I was in mango heaven there too, but it's nice to reconnect. Maybe too much of this video is about mango. Alright, for real this time, I'll see you when I get home. I just finished my 2-hour meditation for the day, and I will say it was, for some reason, a lot harder to sit down and meditate for 2 hours in the middle of the day after I'd already been up and doing my thing than it is when I just go to it first thing in the morning. There wasn't quite the depth that I've been surrendering into in the last few days. There was just a lot more fighting, a lot more just antsiness, like wanting to get up and move, and so it was a bit more difficult today, and I just thought I'd share that interesting observation with you. Also, when I was meditating, I felt like this a revelation occur. So today I've been feeling like really silly and just kind of fun, and like in the store I was just randomly talking to people and just really expressing myself in just kind of this, you know, fun way, silly way, just joking around, and I noticed that there was this little part of me while I was doing that was like almost waiting to get in trouble. Like, oh my God, am I allowed to do this? Am I just allowed to have fun and be myself here and be silly and just kind of play around? I noticed I was just really playing around, like in the yoga studio and in the store today. And when I was meditating, it came to me like I grew up in a really strict household, so I was always getting in trouble. And I think a lot of you can relate with that. It's not that our parents did anything wrong or not, and I can even feel that there might be a strict parent in here one day. I don't know. I could see why our parents would want us to behave and to act a certain way in public, right? Because that's a judgment on them if we were to get in trouble or do something bad or whatever. But I was just feeling like, oh, this sense of, am I going to get in trouble? I was like waiting to get in trouble today for being playful. And it just took me back to childhood, how I was always kind of doing the wrong thing in public, or I was acting up, or I wasn't behaving myself. And it kind of just got me in this place where, okay, kind of this paranoia of like, ooh, don't do that wrong, don't do that wrong, you can't do this. And I think the more liberated we become, the more we just kind of want to play and have fun and be silly. And it's allowed, you're not going to get in trouble for that. And that came to me in meditation today. Of a lot of those memories when I was a child, and how I'm starting to let those programs go, starting to let all that social conditioning go, and just really allowing myself to be me. And sometimes I want to be silly, I want to be playful, and it's really nice to have the freedom to do that when we're in that mood. And then other times, yeah, we're in a darker mood and we don't want to talk, and it's all perfect. But but it's just important, I think, to kind of sometimes recognize where that pattern came from. Like, oh my gosh, am I going to be in trouble? I'm being so silly. I'm being so outgoing. It was nice to recognize where that came from in meditation today, and just allow that old pattern to fall away. So yeah, I think this video has gone long enough. I hope you enjoyed spending the day with me. The rest of the day is just devoted to self-care, to cleaning up the place, to working with you beautiful people, whoever is in need of support, and enjoying the beautiful Tennessee sunshine and weather, maybe do some laundry, all that fun stuff. So thanks for being here. I love you all so much. Namaste.